Welcome. Today we're back in the Raritan Bay for a surprise warm weather run. My plan was to head north and check out Green Hat's Wind and Waves Expo. The wind forecast looked very promising, so I packed my downwind gear. And when I arrived at Sandy Hook, I knew the bay run was on. Live wind report was solid, and Ed was assembling the crew.
Loop it once. They take it. Thread another loop. Feed it out there. And then that way it's like you don't have to ever. Yeah, you don't have to ever like cut it or you keep taking it on and off.
Did you take the I
just
took
took
the valve out?
I got the valve out.
Oh, you leave it open.
Yeah, it gets a little bit of water on it. But so now I can just like I'll get it down the right about where the water line is. I'll cinch it. I learned this from Sam.
Oh, you don't tape it? I thought you taped it or something.
Just cinch. Usually and then you just fucking samurai sword it when you're going downwind.
Oh, that's sick.
With the boards loaded, we headed to Kingsburg. It was weird to see people on the beach after all those deserted winter days. Isaac was using a BRM Ka'a 2.3 meter. It's crazy how short the lines are on that thing. He and Mark are setting sail from here, and we're headed up to Union Beach. The tide was high and the water was warm, so we were scared to find out what we might find to cut up our feet. But we made it out unscathed. I had to work for this first paddle up. I'm riding the Unifoil Progression 170. On these tiny bumps, I really had to trust the low end of this foil. This is my first run of the year with no boots. I actually went from 5 mil in boots to trunks. What a wild transition. Yep, I have my life jacket on backwards. The pouch in the back is so much easier to put your phone in and out, so I just flipped it around. The bumps are starting to get some steeper faces, but dang, they're close together. These warm winds are definitely creating a different energy in the water. It's a lot gentler than those winter days with 50-mile-an-hour gusts. I am heading left, working my way out into the deeper water, trying to get on a good line around the Navy base. Sometimes I get so caught up in cutting left that I start to outrun the wave's energy. But after a couple quick turns, my foil seems to get re-energized. It's funny, we all started taking different lines. Steve was on the inside, and Ed was on the outside. I was cutting hard left, trying to meet up with Ed. And when I finally had him in my sight, I hit something and went down. Here's Steve demonstrating a nice paddle up. Keeps his balance as this bump goes under him. Right as his nose points up, he gives us some good strokes. And away he goes. I started working hard trying to catch up with Steve so we could share some bumps. When we finally met up, we were in the backwash zone, so we couldn't really relax and enjoy the glide. I fell shortly after, so I was back on my own. There were some groups of steeper, bigger bumps that you could carve up, but there was big dead spots between these groups. I had worked my way outside, so I was able to give the Navy station a nice wide berth. Just after I passed the Navy station, I saw these 3 jet skis approaching, and I thought I was going to be in some kind of trouble. But upon closer inspection, they were just really kitted out fishing skis. Steve and Ed linked back up, and were able to share some fun bumps all the way in.
You felt me? Inception. Somebody's got to do something cool. Oh. I got fish jumping out of me.
Ed is riding the AFS Silk 1050, and Steve is riding the Code 1300S. I'm on the home stretch, and during this part, this swell seemed to space out, and it feels like it gets glassy. I don't know if it's wind shadowed from the big ships, but I do know it's a super fun section. Here I can see my landing point at Guardian Park, so I tried to pump it all the way in. Again, it's so weird to see people actually enjoying this beach. Tommy was our savior and took us to the Green Hat event. I was excited to try a parawing, and Flysurfer was there with some demos. I was really surprised when a big wind gust flung me onto foil. I was on the 2.8 meter Pow, and it was powered up. I tried to hold on with one hand, and I felt like it was going to rip my arm off. When I got both hands on it and pulled it down, it felt way more manageable. I was on a 100-liter board from AFS, and with my winging and downwind experience, it felt pretty intuitive.
That's his first time on parawing.
Yeah, dude. Texas.
I really liked how there was not much of a blind spot with the parawing. It was weird that going this way with one hand felt way more comfortable. Lot C in Sandy Hook is wild with all the water sports activities going on. I learned quickly to hold on to it when I fell. If you let go, your session ends in a tangled mess. This was an awesome event with lots of killer gear to demo, and I can't wait to check it out again next year.